Welcome to the best of the action from day 9 of the European Championships in Glasgow. BMX, diving and triathlon on the way, but first up it's time to head to the greens. The Centenary course at Gleneagles is the host venue for the inaugural European Golf Team Championships. The course is situated 56 kilometres northeast of Glasgow. There are 3 titles on offer: men's and women's team events and a mixed team event. The 16 men's and 16 women's teams play in pairs using a match play format. The competition begins with the group stage. The winners of each group will make up the semi-finals, with the winners progressing to the finals. 11 teams will compete in the innovative new Mixed Team Championship. Teams comprising of 4 players in 2 pairs, with men and women competing alongside each other, will play in a mixed stroke play foursomes format. So unlike in match play, every shot counts. The scores of each pair are combined, and the lowest scoring country wins the gold.
You know, it's the first time ever that ladies and men's have played together in a professional golf tournament. You know, I think it's fantastic, and you know, we hope that all the major tours around the world are going to be watching this week at Gleneagles. It's a new format, it's a different format for them to play in. You know, they're all very lucky to be competing this week. You know, I wish I was playing, unfortunately I'm not, but it's going to be a great week. The course is going to be brilliant this week. Obviously we had the Ryder Cup there in 2014. It's quite difficult, it's not the easiest course in the world, it's quite long, but I mean you're talking about players at the highest level, so they'll cope with that, you know, no problem, but the condition of it will be second to none.
Today it was the third and final set of matches of the men's and women's round robin, with Sunday's semi-final places up for grabs. Laura Davis and Georgia Hall started the back 9, 3 up on Belgium, to solidify their lead at the top of Group A.
She really is on a high, Georgia. Open champion.
Fresh from her maiden major victory last week, Georgia Hall continued her great form.
That's how a British Open champion.
The Belgians conceded on the 16th green, sending Hall and veteran Laura Davis through to the semis and continuing their unbeaten run. Megan McLaren and Michelle Thompson sealed the win in their pool with a point from their draw with Finland in the third round match. But the final British pair of Holly Clyburn and Catriona Matthew would suffer a disastrous back 9 up against Sweden.
This is Linda's bread and butter, and she proves it.
Oh, this is way right. Oh dear, Katrina, that's grim in there, let me tell you.
The Swedes will go through as group winners. Well done to Kasia Persson and Linda Westberg, winning 2 up.
At the start of the day, Group B was led by 2 French teams, but a stellar round from the young Swedish pair of 17-year-old Julia Engström and 25-year-old Johanna Gustafsson saw a 4-3 victory, propelling them to the top of the pool and a semi-final spot. In the men's competition, the winner-takes-all clash in Pool D went down to the wire. Norway's Jarand Akeland Arnoy unable to birdie the final hole to tie the match. In Group A, Britain and Spain were both looking for wins in their respective matches, but an incredible eagle from Sweden's Jenna Verret helped down Team GB.
What a magnificent shot against the Brits. 2 up, 3 to play.
After a beautiful shot, we can see the line there. Absolutely perfect hit.
Nice way to win the match there, eagle.
With Spain tying up their match 3-2 to qualify for the semi-finals. It would come down to Great Britain and Italy for the last spot on Sunday.
That'll do. Well done, Alessandro Tadini. And what a win for the Italian pair. And they'll take the final place in the semi-finals. 2 Spanish teams, Iceland and Italy, to play for the medals here at Gleneagles.
Tomorrow it will be the turn of the mixed team competition. Following yesterday's women's triathlon, the men took their turn on another lovely day on the Strathclyde Country Park course. Double Olympic champion Alistair Brownlee was aiming for a 4th European title and was hoping to repeat the feat of Nicola Spirig, the star name in the women's race, who had won on the first day of competition. The maximum 59 strong field began the 1500 metre swim. There was only one athlete from Slovakia, Richard Varga, the current European sprint triathlon champion.
Varga just looks a machine, doesn't he, in the water?
On his tail, the 30-year-old Brownlee, who has suggested he may not go in search of his 3rd Olympic title in Tokyo, but instead focus on longer Ironman distances. Despite recent fitness issues, he began strongly. Varga led at the first transition in the last 2 Olympic finals, and he dived off the pontoon for lap 2 in front.
Very quick from Varga.
World number 7, the Frenchman Pierre Lecour, joined the leading pack. But it was Varga, the 4-time winner of the Aquathlon World Championship, who led the athletes out of the lock and into the first transition.
Well, how quick is this? 16:41. They're out the water. And now it's a fair run, actually, through to transition. There's Alistair Brownlee, middle of your screen. So exactly where he wanted to be, out of the water, right in the thick of things, where, to be honest, he's been for pretty much his whole career.
Brownlee was joined by 8 other riders in the leading pack for the 6-lap, 40-kilometre cycle. They included Varga, Lecour, Germany's Jonas Schoenberg, Dmitry Polansky of Russia, and Belgium's Martin van Riel. They opened up a 1-minute gap on the rest midway through the 2nd lap. Brownlee won the Commonwealth gold on the course 4 years ago and had previously suggested that the challenging bike and run route suited his style of racing, but he didn't attempt to break away from the group, and the 9 riders reached the 2nd transition together.
Brownlee first off. The experience, just didn't want to get caught up in any kind of an issue there. So there's Brownlee into the running shoes, and the Brit is off and away. However, it's Van Riel who has the advantage now. He's actually kicked on ahead of Pierre Lecour. Brownlee just in behind them. So Brownlee on the shoulder now of Van Riel, and Van Riel in turn just behind Pierre Lecour.
There was disappointment for the early leader Varga, who dropped out of the race during the first of the 3 running laps. But there was better news for the world number 5, Fernando Alarza from Spain.
Well, can Alarza possibly get to the leading trio? He's run through everybody else, but he was 57 seconds behind at the end of that first lap. So he's got to make up a minute. Oh, Alistair Brownlee's in trouble here. Alistair Brownlee is in trouble, no question about it. Well, this is absolutely fascinating how quickly it changes. A big problem for Brownlee. Might well be some kind of a fitness issue, and he's not going to win gold here. Lecour and Van Riel have left Brownlee behind, but it has to be surely some kind of a fitness issue. And the biggest threat to them now is going to come from Alarza, with Brownlee effectively out of contention for the gold medal. And Alarza is going to fly past him in a minute. There he is. He's like a duck on a shooting range, a fairground shooting range. Alarza will take aim shortly and go past Alistair Brownlee.
Lecour and Van Riel continued on their steady way as the double Olympic champion dropped out of the medal places, and Alarza continued to close the gap on the leaders.
So they're going to take the bell now. So Lecour and Van Riel with 1 lap to go and nothing between them at the moment. Meanwhile, behind them, Alarza is only 22 seconds behind. So he's got 22 seconds to make up over 3.5 kilometres, and that is possible. Well, Lecour has left Van Riel. Lecour has said, right, time to go. And Van Riel not able to respond. Question is, can Alarza get to the Frenchman? And Alarza looks like he's about to reel in Van Riel. He's come from absolutely nowhere to potentially snatch second. if he can get ahead of the Belgian. There's not that far to go, but it might be enough for Alaza with the sprint. Well, if he doesn't catch him, it certainly won't be for any lack of effort, but Lecour looks to have done enough. It was a slightly concerned and elongated look behind him. He's got to run to the end of transition, then do a 180, and then run back to the finish line. Alaza is still coming, but I just think he's too far behind, unless Lecour capitulates completely. He comes around, does the 180, and one of the most consistent men on the whole ITU circuit is going to get a win that he richly deserves. Crowd rise to him, and Pierre Lecour wins the men's triathlon for France in brilliant style from the front. In behind him, one of the great runs we've seen in recent years, Alaza from nowhere gets the silver. And a real surprise, Martin van Riel from Belgium, who gets rewarded for a great swim, a top-class bike, an excellent run, and he takes bronze.
A weary double Olympic champion was run out of the medals this time. Gold for France, silver for Spain, bronze for Belgium. To the west of the city and the championship's purpose-built BMX track for day one of the competition. The track welcomes Europe's greatest to test their speed, skill and agility on its tricky path. Sylvain Andre is the man in white and the one to beat as he looks to retain his 2017 title, while the women's podium may very well be a family affair in the guise of sisters Laura and Merel Smulders.
Been here for the testing, and first and second straight are definitely good. It's fast, and I think we'll go into the second half of the track pretty fast, but then it gets challenging. It's very technical, the second half, so it will definitely be interesting to see who's going to be fast over there. Riding with the world champion jersey and with number 1 on my plate, of course I want to win and everyone will look at me, but just for myself, I want to come in here and do my best and just focus on myself and then have a bit of fun, and hopefully the result will come. Well, Merel got second at the World Champs, so she's definitely getting up there, and she's a bit younger than me, so we'll see how she goes here, but she's definitely getting fast.
Coming second at the Worlds added a bit of pressure because it's like European champions now. Already from Holland we're with 5 girls, and then you have a lot of good French girls, Belgium, Germany, and it's like there are a lot.
Yeah, definitely I feel ready. We had some time off after Worlds and then got back into training, had Dutch champs, and now this is the next race, so yeah, I feel ready.
My hopes for the tournament are just to ride well and really have fun, and I hope to end up in the final and maybe on the podium, but we'll see.
So qualifying time for the sisters, but first up, let's look at the course.
Around 400 metres long, and the highest jump at that first turn, and then the women peel off to the right, the men to the left, slightly higher jump for the men, and then 2 straights before the finish.
The women's motos featured 4 heats. Rising star and aspiring doctor Simone Christensen from Denmark clocked the best time of the morning.
At the first turn, it's Christensen. Christensen leads, and it's going to be taken by Christensen.
World Championship bronze medalist and world number 2 Judy Bauer qualified with ease, winning all her heats. And world number 1 and widely tipped Laura Smulders took on her little sister Merel, a world silver medalist, for a top spot in tomorrow's knockout rounds.
Laura Smulders and sister Merel, and once again it's those two well and clear, which will probably put pay to any hopes that Ranceno of France had of getting through. The 4 in front now should be the 4 who qualify, and that is the case. She's given up the ghost, the French lady at the back, Ranceno, because at the moment it's back down to being a Smulders sister battle. Now can Merel take this one, or is Laura going to come through? And it's taken by the world champion. Once again, she pips little sis to the post.
No surprises then in the women's qualifications. Things are set to heat up on day 9. On to the men's motos. France is the most successful European country at the BMX World Championships. Reigning world champion Sylvain André had a massive crash in practice. Would his qualification be affected?
And all eyes here on the opening heat, Heat 1 of the BMX European Championship. And it's Sylvain André showing no signs yet of that injury. He takes the corner first, and André away and clear at the front. Schmidt just behind him at the moment. André looks like he's cruising here. No signs, no problems at all for the world champion. Schmidt of Germany in behind, and Kimmen of the Netherlands at the moment in third. It's all about getting those points and making things easy for yourself in the last 2 heats. And André cruising through to take the opening heat with ease.
World Championship bronze medalist Swiss David Graf was up next, battling with Britain's Kyle Evans.
What can he do here? Getting the full support of the crowd. He's just beaten to that first turn, though. Evans coming forward by David Graf, who's a top-level rider himself. And Graf looking good here. Evans on his tail. And these two are away from the rest. Graf here, try and push to get that win, but the Swiss just gets there on the line. But a good first outing for Kyle Evans of Great Britain.
Another adrenaline-fueled encounter, World Cup leader and 2015 world champion Nick Kimmen, the one to watch.
And out they go, the 2 Brits. Now, what can they do here? They were 2nd and 3rd in the last race. They're behind Nick Kimmen, the 2015 world champion, leading them out, but under pressure from Isidore, and here comes White. And White looking to take Kimmen on the inside. Kimmen holding off the British challenge. And it's the French rider coming through as well. Kimmen, he's not won this one yet, that's for sure. He's having to work hard because White's coming through. What a victory. Kai White, a superb ride.
In BMX, there's pleasure, but there is also pain, and the inevitable not so fortunate. Liam Webster from Germany was another casualty.
And Webster going backwards, and Blanca-Buddy, oh, and if Webster knew he wasn't in trouble already, he definitely is now.
No such mistakes from Monsieur André, who notched up 3 from 3.
How will Sylvain André look at this 3rd run? He won't take any chances, even though he's pretty much in the knockout rounds already. Sylvain André cruises through to take 3 wins from 3. His 3 rides, he'll be back tomorrow.
So the hot favourite, Sylvain André, comfortably qualified, as did all BMX's big names. The finals kept on coming in the diving, an eagerly awaited afternoon session kicking off with the men's synchronised 3-metre springboard final. The fans up poolside hoping for more heroics from Jack Law after yesterday's gold in the individual events. With partner Chris Mears, the British pair looked to get off to a flying start. Ilya Zakharov and Evgeny Kuznetsov, who won silver and bronze in the individual event, were quickly laying down a marker.
Exemplary start.
Going into round 3, the Russians were looking every bit gold medalists.
Well, it was Zakharov who had the problem there. Now, that's opened up the way.
Could the British pair capitalise on their mistake?
Well, that was a far more harmonious performance. They're all down there, the whole team out. Oh, that was big. 83-64. What a statement that is.
Law and Mears were holding their nerve. The Russians, though, were ramping up the pressure.
There's a lot more like it.
Down to the final dive. Could the Russians find something special?
They have their big dive, a forward 4.5 somersault, tucked position, the same one that Great Britain will do. Who can nail it? Well, they've delivered it pretty successfully. They know the standard is going to be sky high from the British team. 94.62. Well, there's not a lot more they could have done. Up step, Great Britain in the lead. That wasn't their greatest, I don't think. Chris Mears continuing to rotate. Oh, big congratulations to each other, but they've come second. They've dropped down 78.66. 0.54, the winning margin.
Gold for Russia, silver for Britain, and Germany taking the bronze. So riveting end to the men's event, then it was on to the women's 1 metre springboard final. Punzel starting where she left off in the preliminaries.
Lovely clean entry, and good position too.
In contrast, Great Britain's Torrance was having a day to forget.
Oh, whether there's a big hangover here, she still has started really slowly.
After round 2, Punzel, Bajina and Bertocchi held the medal positions, but it would be all change in round 3.
Tina Punzel, the back 1.5 somersault, piked. What a disaster.
Bajina's consistency putting her in touching distance of the gold.
Decent position off the board. Nice tight pike and a straight leg, which she pulls all the way through.
Her compatriot Maria Polyakova had other ideas.
And Maria Polyakova in that clutch of 4, broken away a little bit. Very nice. Got a good takeoff position. Russian showdown here between Polyakova and Bajina.
Once again, it was down to the final dive.
Maria Polyakova leading the field, but will have to dive and wait. Oh, she's made a really good job of that. Oh, she's come out the pack and made a big run for the front. Good attacking takeoff position, plenty of elevation. She looks pleased, 61.10 again. 2 great dives from Maria Polyakova. Here's Bajina in second place. Just needs to keep it nice and clean. And she's made a pretty decent job of it. 55.90 is solid enough, but not quite with the sparkle of Polyakova. And that has made her the European 1 metre champion. Maria Polyakova.
A Russian won 2, Polyakova with gold, Bajina silver, Elena Bertocchi taking home the bronze. And that's all we have time for as Day 9 of the European Championships comes to a close. But don't worry, plenty more action still to come in the final 2 days, and we'll see you then.